Okay, so there's an interesting midrash on the parsha that claims the Psukim tell us that the Jews camped around the Mishkan with their ish al diglo, right? Which is, what's a degel? Flag. Right. So the midrash, even though the Torah doesn't tell us what the flags looked like, so the midrash does in fact give us a description of what those flags looked like. What okay. So we get, right, so Reuven Avna Odem, Umapashalot Savu Adom, Mitzar Lav Dudaim, Shimon Pitidao, Umapashalot Savua, Yarok Mitzar Lav Shchem, Levi Bareket, Shlot Savua, Shlish Lavan, Shlish Shachor, Shlish Adom, Mitzar Lav Urim Betumim, right, so you have Reuven, has a picture, it's red with Dudaim, right? Shimon has, is Yarok, whatever Yarok means, Yarok is like green, yellow, something like that. Shchem, Levi is a third white, a third black, and a third red. Which country has that?
White, black, and red? Egypt?
Anyways, bunch of countries. And the Urim Betumim, Yehuda Nofech, Tzeva Mapashal, Shemaim Tzera Lav Aryeh, right? Yehuda has an Aryeh with the color of the sky. And it goes on like this for each of them. Now the Ibn Ezra adds that right. Now the Ibn Ezra adds like this, right? I'll read you the English, right? I'm pulling this from an article by Yoni Grossman, right? That our early sages taught that the banner of Reuven featured the figure of a man, symbolizing the deeper meaning of the Dudaim. The flag of Yehuda, the picture of a lion, because that was the image that Yaakov used to describe him. The flag of Ephraim showed an ox, since he was the eldest of the ox, and the flag of Dan was decorated by the picture of an eagle. Right? Now, if you read all 12, you might miss the importance of this. But if you just pick the Shvatim that lead each of the four camps, right? So then, right, leaving all 12, we just get Dudaim, which the Ibn Ezra understands as a man. Okay?
Not the plane.
Right, or a man holding the Dudaim, I'm not quite sure, right? Maybe it's a man holding the Dudaim, not totally clear to me. Or it's the representation of the Dudaim, right? Because it's their fertility, right? So it represents humanity or something like that. Then Yehuda has a lion, right? Again, Ephraim has an ox, and Dan has an eagle. Okay, those are the four that lead. So now, why is that important?
They're the Arba Chayos.
Good, because they're the four faces on the faces on the Masa Merkava of Cheskel, right?
Dan was an eagle.
Well.
Yes, sir.
Whatever exactly in it.
Yes, flag with an eagle on it. Why is that flag? I thought his compared to a snake.
Oh, well, his flag is.
So actually, in this version of the Midrash, the version of Midrash I'm looking at, it has Dan as a Nachash, right? In the version of.
Well, Nesher is really a snake.
No, Nesher is really a vulture.
Griffin vulture.
A griffin vulture.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Now. Right. So the Ibn Ezra seems to have a different girsa. Right. The Ibn Ezra seems to have a different girsa in the Midrash than we have. Right. Slightly different. Right. On the Dan level. Now. But either way, right? Where would you get this notion, and what would it even mean, right? Where would you get the notion that these are the images on it, and what does it have to do with the Merkava? So what Yoni Grossman points out is that there actually is, and this is something we've sort of touched on. There actually is a bit of inherent logic in this, right? It's not. First of all, it's not just the pictures. Right? It's also the way they're set up, right? The way the Merkava is described as moving, right? As it has wheels that go in all directions, so it just goes like this, right? Like it goes forward, it doesn't it goes in straight lines like this, right? Because it has 4 wheels, so it doesn't have to turn, right? Which is basically the image of the camp, right? You have 4 directions, and it would move.
Like it doesn't turn; it just goes forward, backwards, back.
Yeah, it doesn't turn around.
It has wheels that go side to side.
It has wheels on the wheels?
Because it has multiple wheels.
And they're facing different directions?
Yeah.
It's not physical.
Yeah, no, I'm with Monty. Unless they have wheels on the wheels.
I don't know. What does a divine wheel look like? I don't know.
No. What if it's
They're rolling wheels.
Spherical.
They're spherical wheels. Right? Or the wheels like this that just go on a hinge and go around.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They go all there.
Right? But also conceptually, right? Conceptually, it also. Additionally, what's the sound that you hear at the Merkava? Right, where the wings sound like the wings of the angels. So according to Yechezkel, it's
the sphere's turning.
God. People, have you ever read Yechezkel?
It sounds like the chirping of a vulture.
I was told I was
A chirping of a what does the chirping of a griffin vulture even sound like? You're like, I'm gonna make that up, and no one will know if I'm wrong. It's true. I have no clue if you're wrong.
No, both directions.
What's that?
I will read you the pasuk in Yechezkel, which is Kol Hamula Ki Kol Machaneh. It's the sound of a military camp, right? That's the way it's described, right? Which also would add, obviously, to the parallels. And again, this sort of makes sense because what?
So that's what different vultures sound like. Sounds.
Exactly. Right, but it makes sense because what that would get at is that, and this is sort of intuitive, that the camp of the Jewish people was meant to surround the Mishkan and accompany God's presence. They are a parallel to the Merkava, that which, whatever that means, accompanies God's presence up in heaven. I know Yoni Grossman pushes that a bit farther and he says it's even more than that. Right? This adds to, ironically, the depressing image of the Merkava, because the Merkava, right? We all think of it as like the classic, vision of God, but it's actually a very depressing parak, as maybe Zev remembers, because
it's the leaving of the...
Right, you're seeing God as He leaves, right? As He leaves the Ben HaMikdash. Right, the way Yoni Grossman puts it is, when God is on earth, the Jews are accompanying Him, but when God decides to leave, He replaces us with angels. Right? That's sort of the part of the image of Yechezkel, that if He's leaving, right? So He used to be surrounded on 4 sides by the Jewish people. But when He leaves the Beit HaMikdash, instead He's going to have a different camp. Right? He's going to have the camp of the angels, which might be very impressive, but it's right. So there's a good and bad to this. Right? On the one hand, right, when God puts the angels there, sometimes it's because we are insufficient. Right? And then there's the positive aspect, is when we are worthy. Right? When we are worthy, we are taking the place of what could potentially be angels. And Yoni Grossman points that that's partially what Bilam is getting at, right? When Bilam, right, all sort of, this gives a better understanding to all that praise that Bilam gives of the Matovu Ohalecha Yaakov and the way he praises it and God's presence among them, right? That looking at the camp itself and the way it's around God really is a very impressive expression of the fact that God is amongst the people, right? Because we're taking the place of the angels. Right, so by recognizing these parallels between the Masa Merkava and God's sort of angelic surrounding entourage, and realizing that sometimes they replace us when we don't deserve to escort God, but when we do deserve it, that is evidence of the fact that God is dwelling among us. Right, that deepens the conceptual importance of the nature of the camp by recognizing these two sort of interchangeable models. Okay.